no longer trouble. I'm looking down on those traveling lights, and I'm on my way. And I'm on my way. This torch is heavy, but I travel light. I know it's lonely on the top shelf, 'cause I've been there myself. Oh, I've been there, deep in my cups, high in the sky, when I just wanted something of my own. Just wanted something of my own. Looking for someone of my own. My own. Floating down that moving sidewalk, I go clear-eyed and calm. Don't want the fruit from that still life. It's held me far too long, and without you, no longer trouble. I'm looking down on those traveling lights, and I'm on my way. And I'm on my way. And I'm on my way. This torch is heavy, but I travel light. It's lonely on the top shelf, 'cause I've been there myself. Oh, I've been there, deep in my cups, high in the sky, when I just wanted something of my own. Just wanted something of my own. Looking for someone of my own. My own. Close the window and your eyes disappear into the blue. Wrap your fingers around the great escape. Drinking moonshine on the moon. It's got you feeling like a queen, but you're not quite. Looking down on those traveling lights, I'd best be on my way. I'd best be on my way. Floating down that moving sidewalk, I go clear-eyed and calm. Don't want the fruit from that still life. It's held me far too long, and without you, no longer trouble. I'm looking down on those traveling lights, and I'm on my way. And I'm on my way. This torch is heavy, I travel light. I know it's lonely on the top shelf, 'cause I've been there myself. Oh, I've been there, deep in my cups, high in the sky, when I just wanted something of my own. Just wanted something of my own. Looking for someone of my own. My own. Floating down that moving sidewalk, I go clear-eyed and calm. Don't want the fruit from that still life. It's held me far too long, and without you, no longer trouble. I'm looking down on those traveling lights, and I'm on my way.
Good morning, Acadiana. Thanks for tuning in to Local News Live, a production of AOC Community Media in partnership with the Acadiana Advocate. and the larger advocate operation, bringing you local news, local journalism in audio format every Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. We're glad to bring you this service, and normally we are joined by our volunteer newsreaders, and we appreciate them joining us when they can. This morning, as I'm sure a lot of you out there are doing, our volunteers are prepping for the coming storm, and I hope all of you are. Some of them have evacuated, and I hope if you need to evacuate, you're on your way to evacuation. But let's get right into the news. I'll be your newsreader this morning. My name's Matt Roberts, and let's get right to our first story. Hurricane Laura strengthens to Category 3 storm, expected to reach Cat 4, latest track. This is by Carly Wells. Hurricane Laura strengthened into a Category 3 storm Wednesday morning and is expected to reach Category 4 strength before landfall, forecasters said. It is the first major hurricane of the 2020 Atlantic season. Laura strengthened overnight into a large, formidable storm, the National Hurricane Center said. It is expected to push a potentially catastrophic storm surge up to 15 feet in some places and bring extreme winds and flash flooding along the Gulf Coast, forecasters said. Landfall is anticipated late Wednesday or early Thursday. As of 7 a.m. Wednesday, Laura had winds of 115 miles per hour, which is considered a major hurricane. Those winds are forecast to strengthen to 130 miles per hour before landfall. The center of the storm was about 280 miles south of Lake Charles and about 290 miles southeast of Galveston, Texas. It was moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. On the forecast track, Laura should approach the coast of Texas and southwest Louisiana Wednesday night and make landfall near there overnight. Watches and warnings in effect. A storm surge warning is in effect for Freeport, Texas, to the mouth of the Mississippi River. A hurricane warning is in effect for San Luis Pass, Texas, to Intracoastal City, Louisiana. A tropical storm warning is in effect for Sargent, Texas, to San Luis Pass, east of Intracoastal City, Louisiana, to the mouth of the Mississippi River. A storm surge watch is in effect for the mouth of the Mississippi River to Ocean Springs, Mississippi, Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Maurepas, and Lake Bourne. A hurricane watch is in effect for east of Intracoastal City to west of Morgan City, Louisiana. Dangerous storm surge and flash flooding expected. Storm surge, the combination of a dangerous storm surge and the tide, will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline, forecasters said. If peak surge occurs at the time of high tide, there could be a storm surge of Searim State Park to Intracoastal City, including Sabine Lake and Calcasieu Lake, 10 to 15 feet. Intracoastal City to Morgan City, including Vermilion Bay, could have a storm surge of 8 to 12 feet. Port Boulevard to Searim State Park could have 6 to 9 feet. Morgan City to mouth of Mississippi River could have 4 to 7 feet. San Luis Pass to Port Boulevard could have 3 to 5 feet. Galveston Bay, 3 to 5 feet. The mouth of the Mississippi River to Ocean Springs, including Lake Bourne, 2 to 4 feet. Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Maurepas, 2 to 4 feet. Freeport to San Luis Pass, 2 to 4 feet. Forecasters said the deepest water will occur along the immediate coast, near and to the east of the landfall location, where the surge will be accompanied by large and destructive waves. This storm surge could go up to 30 miles inland from the immediate coastline in southwestern Louisiana and far southeastern Texas. Rainfall from Wednesday afternoon through Friday. Laura is expected to produce rainfall totals of 5 to 10 inches, with isolated maximum amounts of 15 inches across portions of the Gulf Coast from western Louisiana to eastern Texas, and north into much of Arkansas. Over Missouri, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall with isolated totals of 6 inches are expected. This rainfall will cause widespread flash flooding, small streams to overflow their banks, and minor to isolated moderate river flooding, forecasters said. Hurricane conditions are expected in the hurricane warning area Wednesday night and Thursday. Tropical storm conditions are expected to reach the coast in the hurricane warning area late Wednesday and are expected in the tropical storm warning area Wednesday night and Thursday. Hurricane force winds and damaging wind gusts are also expected to spread well inland into portions of eastern Texas and western Louisiana early Thursday. Hurricane force winds extend up to 70 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend up to 175 miles as of 4 a.m. Wednesday. Tornadoes. A few tornadoes are expected Wednesday night in Louisiana, far southeast Texas, and southwestern Mississippi. The risk for a few tornadoes should continue into Thursday across Louisiana, Arkansas, and western Mississippi. The surf swells produced by Laura are affecting the Gulf Coast from west coast of Florida to Louisiana and are expected to reach the coast of Texas and northeastern Mexico on Wednesday. These swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. Storm categories on the Sapphire Simpson hurricane wind scale. The wind categories are tropical storm, 39 to 73 miles per hour. A Category 1 hurricane has winds that are 74 to 95 miles per hour. A Category 2 hurricane has winds that are 96 to 110 miles per hour. A Category 3 hurricane or a major hurricane has winds that are 111 to 129 miles per hour, and that's what Laura is right now. Category 4 hurricane is 130 miles per hour to 156 miles per hour, and above 157 miles per hour is a Category 5 hurricane. The next advisory will come out at 10 a.m., so stay tuned for that. Lafayette family, our next story, Lafayette family displaced after child sets house fire while playing with a lighter, by Katie Gagliano, staff writer. A Lafayette family was displaced Tuesday, less than 2 days before Hurricane Laura is projected to make landfall in the area after a child accidentally set a fire inside a bedroom. Lafayette firefighters responded to the 100 block of Clement Street around 10:30 a.m. for a reported bedroom fire. Heavy smoke was coming from the home, and firefighters conducted a quick search inside the burning building, locating the home's 2 occupants in the backyard safe from the smoke. No injuries were reported. Lafayette Fire Department spokesperson Alton Traha said in a statement, "Firefighters took 15 minutes to bring the fire under control. Firefighters took 15 minutes to bring the fire under control. The interior of the home suffered heavy fire and smoke damage, and the family was displaced as a result," he said. Investigators determined the fire originated in a bedroom closet where a young child was playing with a lighter. The fire was ruled an accident, Traha said. Hurricane Laura grows stronger as storm takes aim for Louisiana-Texas state line, by Kayla Gagnet, staff writer. Hurricane Laura continues to strengthen in the Gulf of Mexico as it takes aim at the Louisiana state line. In its 7 p.m. update, that was yesterday, the National Hurricane Center said Laura has maximum sustained winds of 85 miles per hour. And you know what? This story, I apologize about that. I've already read the updated story, so we're going to move on past that because that's giving some outdated information. All right, up next, our story is, as Southwest Louisiana prepares for Laura, some fear that they'll return to. It's not looking good. This is by Claire Taylor, a staff writer. The sky was gray Tuesday along the southwest Louisiana coast, but the calm Gulf of Mexico belied the trouble headed that way as Hurricane Laura took aim for the Louisiana-Texas state line. If Laura's track holds steady, winds in excess of 100 miles per hour and a storm surge as high as 9 feet are possible in coastal regions of southwest Louisiana Wednesday night and into Thursday. Unfortunately, coastal Louisiana residents aren't unfamiliar with what that means. Downtown Lake Charles, where a mandatory evacuation order was issued Tuesday, was quiet. On 12th Street, residents boarded windows on their homes. Some businesses already were boarded up and closed. To the south, few residents were out Tuesday in the town of Cameron, which was nearly washed away by Hurricane Rita in 2005, and again by Hurricane Ike's storm surge in 2008. Mobile homes elevated on stilts replaced many homes present before Rita. Other residents chose instead to live in RVs that are easily moved inland with the storm threat. On nearby Rutherford Beach, resident and cattleman Roman Terrio had help from other cattlemen Tuesday in moving 600 head of cattle to safety. Terrio's family owns the land on Rutherford Beach where his cattle graze. Hurricane Rita sent a 16-foot storm surge over the area, destroying his home and everything in it, and killing 800 head of cattle, costing him $800,000. Hurricane Ike, which made landfall in Galveston after skirting the Louisiana coast, submerged Rutherford Beach in about 12 feet of water, he said. But Terrio didn't lose his house, which was elevated on pilings, or his cattle, which had been moved to safety. Norbert Leonards, who lives in the country just south of Lake Charles, was helping Terrio move his cattle. He had about 300 head of cattle on his own land and was waiting to see Tuesday how big a threat Laura might be before relocating his cattle to higher ground. When that water comes over that ridge, it'll be as tall as that building, he said, nodding at the shelter where the cattle were sorted and moved into trailers. Bobby and Newland Miller of Branch sat next to their RV on Rutherford Beach Tuesday. A dozen or more plastic tubs containing belongings stacked nearby while friends helped load furniture onto a trailer. "We're going to be going down I-10 like the Beverly Hillbillies," Bobby Miller joked. The couple bought the site for their camp in June 2008, 2 months before Hurricane Ike struck. They didn't have the camp on site yet, bringing their camper trailer in after the storm and adding a canopy and elevated deck. The camp has been the couple's refuge all summer during the COVID-19 pandemic. "It's been beautiful out here," Bobby Miller said. "They're almost finished working on the rock barrier to restore the beach. It's not looking good, though." The Millers weren't confident Tuesday their camp, which they aren't able to move because of saltwater damage, will survive Laura's onslaught. "We never know," Newland Miller said. "God has a plan," she said, adding, "It's given us a lot of great years." All right, and list of schools in Acadiana are closing in preparation for Hurricane Laura. So here is the list updated yesterday afternoon. In Lafayette Parish, the Diocese of Lafayette will be closed Monday through Thursday. Lafayette Parish Public Schools, offices, and facilities will close Tuesday and Wednesday. Ascension Episcopal School classes canceled Tuesday through Thursday. Lafayette Renaissance Charter Academy, all orientations canceled Monday through Friday. John Paul the Great Academy, all classes and events canceled Monday through Thursday. Westminster Christian Academy, all classes canceled Monday and Tuesday. Willow Charter Academy, all virtual classes canceled Monday and Tuesday. Episcopal School of Acadiana closed Wednesday and Thursday. In Acadia Parish, public schools main office and school sites closed Monday through Thursday. Diocese of Lafayette closed Monday through Thursday. In Evangeline Parish, Diocese of Lafayette will be closed through Thursday. Evangeline Parish Public Schools are closed today and Thursday. Iberia Parish Public Schools, main office and school sites closed through Thursday this week. Acadiana Christian School canceled through Thursday. Diocese of Lafayette closed through Thursday. In St. Landry Parish, the public schools, district offices, and school campuses will be closed today and tomorrow. J.S. Clark Leadership Academy in-person classes for kindergarten students are canceled through Wednesday, and lessons will be provided through the Remind app. Diocese of Lafayette will be closed through Thursday. In St. Martin Parish, the Diocese of Lafayette will be closed through Thursday. St. Martin Parish Public Schools, main offices, and school campuses will be closed through Thursday. In the Vermilion Parish, the start of all public schools was delayed until September 3rd. Diocese of Lafayette is closed through Thursday. Colleges and universities, UL Lafayette, all classes will be canceled through Thursday, and on-campus services and departmental offices will be closed Wednesday and Thursday. Classes will resume remotely on Friday, as will the campus operations through teleworking. South Louisiana Community College will be closed through Wednesday. And that list again was updated yesterday afternoon, but if I had to guess, everybody looking at the path of the storm, those will probably be updated again to include closures for tomorrow, if I had to guess, just because the storm is supposedly coming this evening, which means that, the majority of the bad weather will be happening overnight and into Thursday morning. All right, so moving on to some local news that is not necessarily storm related. We'll find out, but I don't think it is. Cajun cannabis owner arrested again on multiple marijuana charges by Katie Gagliano, staff writer. The Cajun Cannabis Travis Michael DeYoung, Cajun Cannabis owner, was arrested on multiple counts related to the sale of marijuana after the Lafayette police executed a search warrant at the Johnson Street business on Tuesday. The search warrant yielded 3 marijuana plants being cultivated inside the business. Agents also located 1,336.5 grams of marijuana, 2.6 grams of hashish, and drug paraphernalia. Police also executed a search warrant at the DeYoung's home and found 11 grams of marijuana, 4 grams of THC wax, 1 gram THC keef pod cartridge, and a container with a label on it stating that it contained 17.08% THC. DeYoung, 32, of Youngsville, was charged with distributing marijuana, cultivating the plant, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession with intent to distribute marijuana. Also arrested for distribution of marijuana was Carly Lane Lantier Belliard, 27, and Jordan Folks, 19, both of Lafayette. This is the second time law enforcement has investigated the business. In April 2019, DeYoung was arrested on multiple charges, including 2 counts of felony possession with the intent to distribute a Schedule I drug, felony possession of a gun during the sale of or distribution of a controlled dangerous substance, and 2 counts of misdemeanor possession of drug paraphernalia. The drug in question was Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, the psychoactive chemical in marijuana. The charges were dismissed by the 15th Judicial District's Attorney's Office in July. DeYoung was arrested after he was pulled over in his vehicle, and his business was searched by the Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office less than a week after DeYoung opened the CBD and hemp-focused retail store and cafe in the 3800 block of Johnson Street. Deputies seized a range of products, including CBD oils, gummies, mints, and vapes. Lafayette Parish Sheriff Mark Garber said at the time his agency had received multiple complaints about illegal activity at the business and had purchased products from the store and tested their THC levels. CBD, or cannabidiol, is a non-psychoactive compound extracted from the cannabis plant, generally hemp, which is a cannabis variety low in THC. At the time of DeYoung's 2019 arrest, Louisiana law defined any substance derived from the cannabis plant as marijuana, even if it had 0% THC content. The law seemed to conflict with federal guidance, which is under the 2018 Farm Bill distinguished between hemp and marijuana, and laid initial groundwork for products and hemp with less than 3.3% THC to be available for legal sale, with some regulatory caveats. Louisiana law changed in June 2019 to make the same distinction. Regulation of CBD sales and permitting was then placed under the Louisiana Office of Alcohol and Tobacco Control. An ATC permit list shows Cajun Cannabis as possessing a permit to sell CBD products. After his 2019 arrest, DeYoung denied the allegations about illegal activity, but said he understood the risks when he chose to open his business. DeYoung said he was pioneering the use of CBD and was serving people with disabilities, chronic pain, or who wanted to seek remedies outside pharmaceuticals, and was helping to reduce the stigma of CBD use. All right, everybody. You'll have to excuse me. I did collect some news, but I fell a little short. Um, but let's see. So we've got Governor Edwards is going to give an update on Hurricane Laura and possible Phase 2 extension. This was published this morning. It's hot off the presses. And this is by the Advocate staff. As Hurricane Laura continues to strengthen and make landfall near the Louisiana-Texas line, Governor John Bell Edwards will address the state Wednesday on storm preparedness. Laura was upgraded to a Category 3 hurricane Wednesday morning. Forecasters expect the storm to gain even more strength and reach Category 4 status by the time it makes landfall late Wednesday or Thursday morning. Edwards' press conference is slated for 11:30 a.m. Wednesday. The governor is also expected to announce new developments regarding Louisiana's Phase 2 restrictions. Okay, and that is happening again at 11:30 a.m., and you can watch it live at theadvocate.com. Let's see. All right, so a list of this was published or updated, I should say, yesterday at 10:47 a.m. So again, information is changing quickly, but here is the evacuations announced ahead of Hurricane Laura. This is compiled by Emma Disher, a staff writer with The Advocate. Hurricane Laura is expected to strengthen into a Category 4 storm now in the Gulf of Mexico this week, prompting some Louisiana officials to urge or require evacuations. Laura is forecast to make landfall somewhere along the Louisiana-Texas border on Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Here's a list of local areas under recommended or mandatory evacuation. In Beauregard Parish, officials issued a voluntary evacuation order for residents living in mobile homes or travel trailer and people in low-lying areas. Calcasieu Parish is under a mandatory evacuation. Officials previously announced a voluntary one but upgraded it on Tuesday morning. Cameron Parish is under a mandatory evacuation. Officials specifically said that the order includes the lower parish communities south of Intracoastal Waterway of Johnson Bayou, Holly Beach, Cameron, Creole, Grand Chenier, and Big Lake, and areas south of Kelso Bayou Bridge in Hackberry. Once it is determined that traveling is no longer safe in these areas, no one will be allowed to enter, OSHIP Director Danny Laverne wrote in a memo. Jefferson Davis Parish. Jeff Davis Parish officials issued a voluntary evacuation order for low-lying areas and residents living in mobile homes. Lafayette Parish is under a voluntary evacuation order, and you can go to the Advocate site to see the evacuation routes. St. Martin Parish officials issued a voluntary evacuation for residents in the lower portion of the parish. And yeah, just keep an eye on theadvocate.com and all the sites for updates in that information, because obviously information is changing quickly. All right, let's see what else we've got here in the news this morning, everybody. Just give me a moment while I look through. All right, thanks for bearing with me again. This is Local News Live, a production of AOC Community Media in partnership with The Advocate. And big shout out to our volunteers who normally are here reading with us. We really appreciate it. Let's see what else we have to talk about this morning news-wise. We may be ending the news broadcast a little early just to go prep for the storm, and because, as all of you know, I'm sure most of your minds are on the coming storm. All right, so here's a story, and I apologize if we've read any of these stories over the past couple of days, because some of this news is, the news is slow this morning with all talks of the storm and the upcoming storm. All right, so with refreshed memories of the devastating storm surge from Hurricane Rita 15 years ago, This story is with memories of Hurricane Rita. Southwest Louisiana residents brace for Tropical Storm Laura. This is by Claire Taylor, a staff writer. With refreshed memories of the devastating storm surge from Hurricane Rita 15 years ago, homeowners, business owners, and camp owners took preparations Monday for what could be another flooding event when Tropical Storm Laura comes ashore later this week. Laura is expected to make landfall in southwest Louisiana. Laura is expected to make landfall in southwest Louisiana on Wednesday or Thursday as a hurricane. Monday afternoon, as the anticipated part of Laura showed a little change, southwest Louisiana preparations took on a more urgent tone in Iberia Parish. A sugarcane farmer rushed to harvest some of his crop in Vermilion Parish. Cattlemen loaded stock into trailers and headed for higher ground, while camp owners boarded windows and lifted furniture. At St. James Chapel in the Vermilion Parish settlement of Esther, members of the congregation moved pews and other items to the choir loft and into trailers for safety. Hurricane Rita sent 9 feet of water into the chapel. John T. Landry of Abbeville spent Sunday and Monday moving furniture at his camp to the second floor. Hurricane Rita completely wiped away his one-story camp in 2005. He rebuilt it with 2 stories, and Hurricane Ike's storm surge washed through the bottom floor in 2008. I know that thing's going to be washed through, if not washed away, he said. After Rita, a king-size bed, washing machine, and dryer completely disappeared from the camp, washed away forever. But buried in the mud Rita left behind was the agitator to the washing machine, Landry said. 3 of us couldn't pull that agitator out, he said. It's scary. That water is relentless. Josh Corner of Erath was filling sandbags near the Erath Town Hall on Monday afternoon for his woodworking business. He fully expects his business and possibly his home will flood again as Laura pushes storm surge into low-lying parts of Vermilion Parish. For Hurricane Rita, Corner's business had 24 inches of water inside. Hurricanes Gustav, 3 years later, sent 12 inches into his shop. His home wasn't spared by either storm. Rita sent 28 inches of water into his home, and Gustav followed with 16 inches. For Rita, Corner said he lost everything because everyone was taken by surprise. I have a feeling it's going to be like Rita or worse, Connor said. By Tuesday, he plans to lift furniture and equipment, move what he can into trailers to relocate to higher ground and hope for the best. You learn how to adjust to it, he said. I've been through it twice, so I know what it's all about. He was filling sandbags Monday afternoon to place around his business because everybody's nosy and wants to ride around, Corner said. All them sightseers. W.L. Davis Sr. has lived off Louisiana 339 in Erath around 32 years. His house elevated a couple of feet, never flooded, but it came close a few times. His wife sent him to town hall for sandbags Monday afternoon to put around the doors. But if it gets that high, he laughed, you're going to lose the floor. Lauren and Wayne Kidd enlisted the help of their young sons, Paxton 6 and Levi 5, to fill sandbags. For Hurricane Rita, Lauren Kidd said she lived in Milton where it didn't flood. I'm a little nervous, she said Monday. I'm being cautious. It's the storm surge I'm worried about. Her husband offered this advice learned from personal experience with prior hurricanes. Get plenty of beer and charcoal. Well, and with that lighthearted note, we are going to end by saying stay safe out there. Make sure you get any of your last-minute preparations done or just get out of town if you're feeling nervous about it. And check in on your loved ones, call them, and make sure that they're okay and ready to go. And yeah, stay safe out there, everybody. Keep an eye on the news on your local broadcasting stations, and we will see you after Laura. So I'm going to end with a little music here. We want to thank Dysfunction Al is the artist who we've been playing the past few mornings. And the song is Traveling Lights, and it is, of course, a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Again, this is Local News Live, a production of AOC Community Media in partnership with The Advocate. Big shout out to all of our volunteers. Big shout out to our audience. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you after the storm.
It's got you feeling like a queen, but you're not quite. Looking down on those traveling lights, I'd best be on my way. I'd best be on my way. Floating down that moving sidewalk, I go clear-eyed and calm. Don't want the fruit from that still life. It's held me far too long, and without you, no longer trouble. I'm looking down on those traveling lights, and I'm on my way. And I'm on my way. This torch is heavy, but I travel light. I know it's lonely on the top shelf, 'cause I've been there myself.